Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
Wow, what a special day it is today, Jayhay. Today's a very special day. You want to know why today's special? You guys already know. It's Dallas Braden's birthday. Woo! Happy birthday, Dallas. Oh, wait, just kidding. He's not fucking here.
No.
He's not here. What is he doing? He went to Chuck E. Cheese, he said?
Yeah, I don't know. He said, it's my birthday, so I've got some special plans today or something like that.
Yeah.
He's 42 years old.
40, yeah, the big 42. Gotta celebrate that one. That one's special, right? How many fucking people make it to 42? I don't know. Everybody?
Well, not everybody, right?
Yeah,
But,
I guess. Yeah, some people do fall short of the big 4-2, but Dallas Braden made it there.
Well, and more to the point with him, you got to think if we're talking life trajectories, up for him. You know, right?
Yeah. He's
it just keeps getting better and better. Part of the Baseball is Dead podcast.
No doubt.
Um,
I'm happy for the guy. You know, like that's someone that for all intents and purposes shouldn't have made it past like high school.
No. I mean, you know, physically he's past high school, right? Intellectually,
Mentally, not so much.
We're still trying to drag him forward, but every day is a day to take a step forward, and you know, maybe the birthday is just a day for celebration, and that's what he's doing right now, and just presumably spending some nice quality time with his family. His lovely wife, who's obviously a celebrity big time and who has been on this podcast before for Family Feud.
Correct.
And his lovely children and grandmother. That's probably who he's spending time with. I would have to think so. Because if it's anybody else, quite honestly, I'm calling shenanigans. I
agree. Those are the only people that
because
can
no other
tolerate
people
him.
would.
Right.
Oh yeah. That's a really good point. I was going to say that I'm calling shenanigans because those are the only people who could possibly be framed as more important than us. Right?
Yeah, there's that as well. There's the importance level. There's people that would actually want to spend that much personal close time with Dallas. I feel like people get Dallased out. But all that to say, happy birthday, man. You know, it's a big one. Big 4-2. Today's also Steve Peralt's birthday.
Oh wow! I didn't.
Yeah.
If I'd remembered that was today was a double birthday. Two Jared Carabas underdog MLB kind of tent poles birthdays on the same day, I would have. Well, I've forgotten. So happy birthday to Steve as well.
Happy birthday to Steve. Yeah, we got the 10 tonight, so I'm sure he's gonna want like a post and all this shit. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'll just see him on the podcast.
Are you gonna do one for Dallas? Did you do one for Dallas already?
No, not yet. Not
yet.
I had things to tend to when I woke up this morning.
But point being, you're gonna do one for Dallas, but not Steve, right? That's that's the way you're gonna go with this. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I thought you said. I'm not encouraging you either way. I'm just asking.
Yeah. It'll be like, happy birthday, best podcast co-host you could ever ask for, like someone you can depend on, just like the overall like best dude. Man, what a birthday. What a day to celebrate one of my pals' birthdays.
Is Steve a lefty or is he a righty?
He throws right-handed, but when he throws right-handed, it looks like maybe he should have been left-handed.
He should have been lefty. Yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I was just trying to think of other ways that they're similar that you could throw into Dallas's birthday wish.
I think I already know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna write this really sappy happy birthday post to Dallas and then quote tweet that and just say, and also happy birthday to Steve. So he can't say I didn't wish him happy birthday.
Yeah. Maybe even forget the quote tweet. Maybe just rock him with a reply to the original tweet. Just nestle it under there.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah, I could do that.
Well, I hope Steve's family's focused on him at least tonight, and any loved ones that he's spending the birthday with. I mean, particularly if he's got to do the 10 tonight and cap his birthday with you people.
Sure.
And you know, kind of the disrespect that'll come with that. I hope the rest of his day is really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but it's. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say if his family is gonna make his birthday special, like he spends every day with his family. Like he's a big family guy. So it's like, how special can it be when you see your family every day?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm the last person that can, I guess, hate on that. I liked my family so much that Joey left the pod,
That is true. I mean, I love my family too, but I don't see them every day.
Oh, you don't? How does that work? Like your parents, you're saying?
Yeah. Like my parents and my sister.
I guess I don't see my parents I guess I don't see my parents every day. I see them a lot. Did Dallas say that that he was not working the game tonight? Do I remember that part of the conversation?
Honestly, brother, he starts talking and I start just like zoning out. Yep. Yeah. It's just vibrations at that point.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Well, I hope that both Dallas and Steve have wonderful birthdays. August 13th, 1983 for Dallas, and August 13th, whatever year Steve was born. Magical times.
I think he's probably like 91, maybe.
90. That's he's aging pretty well, pretty gracefully.
Not really.
No. He seemed pretty with it when I was with him
mentally,
on Hosmer Day.
Physically, no, he's a bag of milk. And his hair sucks too. There's a reason why he wears a hat all the time.
Oh gosh, is he bald?
Yeah.
Is he like Dallas or no?
His hairline, like up at the top here, it's all fucked up. Yeah.
Oh, is it from too much hat wearing? Like, is it a chicken and egg scenario or?
That was my thought process when I was a kid. I used to wear a hat every day, and my grandma was like, you're gonna lose your hair. You wear a hat too often. I was like, all the more reason to wear a hat then. And
protect yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I just stopped wearing hats, and here we are.
Wow. I'm gonna put my hat back on because I've got like a red mark from wearing the hat. But
yeah, but you also have great hair. You're a hat guy, but you have great hair too.
Yeah. I mean, I value my own versatility. I think that's what.
Yeah.
You want to be able to go both ways. I mean, you can go both ways. You got the hair, you got the hat. Dallas obviously can't go. To go back to the birthday boys, it sounds like
I don't look good
Steve
with
and
the hat
Dallas
on,
can't
though.
really go both ways.
I don't look good with the hat on.
Obviously, Dallas gets the whole Daniel Stern thing going on when that hat comes off.
I think we might be the only guys that have good hair in the entire like underdog MLB universe.
Jake's hair is fine, right? Jake's
I'm talking
full
like
head of hair on air,
on air, because Mikey's got great hair too. Jeremy's got good hair.
Yeah,
like our production team has great hair.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of the stereotype, right? Where the faces for radio or the production staff are the robust, healthy, good-looking people, and then the people on air are kind of like the hideous ghouls.
Dallas is bald, Coley's bald, Steve has a terrible hairline.
Tyler's is hanging on, right?
Tyler's hairline is tough.
Kind of like thinning. Yeah.
Yeah, like it doesn't know what it wants to be,
but it knows what it will be, right?
Yeah. You can tell the path it's about to take.
Yeah, it knows what it's fighting against.
Yeah. So it's tough, like because we lost
there,
Joe. Yeah. Like Joe had good hair, but
another young man,
yeah.
Well, and I think we've covered this before, but Section 10 specifically, and our universe in general, not the most physically gifted group of people. It's part of what made the Dinger Derby, and I hope future versions of it, funny. Is that not everybody is Connor? Not everybody's what Dallas
Connor's
imagines
got good
himself
hair,
to be.
right?
Does Connor have good hair?
I think so.
I picture him in a hat. I'm not sure I know. I'm not sure I remember what Connor looks like without a hat on.
So Connor,
he's got the mustache, obviously.
When I think of Connor, I definitely think of the hat, but like he has flowing locks. Yeah. And he's got a great stash. Like, how, baseball haircut, the perfect baseball haircut is the one where you throw on the hat, but then it like flows out the back like Dansby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Connor's got that. Yeah, he has the perfect baseball flip, and the fact that he is confident enough to combine that with a great stash. Like, I might say this right now. I think Connor has the best hair, like facial hair combo of the whole universe.
In our universe. Wow.
Yes. Yep.
Or the universe.
Connor's number one.
Our universe or the
our
universe?
universe.
Okay.
Our universe. Yeah.
I think I can sign up with that.
Yeah.
Whole universe, I would have needed a couple of more minutes to think about it, but I think that's right.
I wish I could pull that off. I would love to have like the hair coming out the back with the beard combo.
Yeah, I feel like I wonder about these people that don't, try different things with their hair over the course of their lifetime, because after you reach a certain point, it's just inevitable that you're going to kind of lock in on a certain thing or be locked in on a certain thing. Man, I had my hair down to the middle of my back for a good chunk of my life. It was that long.
Yeah.
I've done the whole Jesus thing. I've done the whole, obviously I come and go on the beard. You got to try new things. See what you like.
Yeah. I wish I had the balls to just grow my hair. I feel like it would look great.
Yeah. I mean, you're also, again, in that tough spot where like you have you're an on-air talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can't just let it rip,
No, you have a brand, you have an image, you have bookings.
I can't, the in-between stage, I can't just be like looking like an asshole for a while.
No. And if you start like, I know you have haircuts book or stylings or whatever we call them, at the gallery, at the salon, every 48 hours. And if you start canceling those, I mean, that's somebody's well-being,
livelihood
you're impacting. Yeah. That's a whole career that you've derailed.
Right.
These things are complicated. Life gets very complicated as an adult.
But
unless you're one of these ugly people that we were talking about that don't really have to worry about this. I obviously am not
like
one
Dallas,
of those
for example. Yeah.
Correct. The birthday boy. Yep.
Yeah, he can just roll out of bed, and that's all he has to do. Yeah, he's ugly as fuck. But Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. And I threw some picks in this morning. How'd you feel about my pick 'em this morning?
Oh man, I was well, I believe I said at first glance that it was kind of like the that 3 dragon meme where, 2 of them are the strong, robust, scary dragons, and the other one is the is kind of the carnival act. But the more I looked into it, as most of your picks are, well-founded statistically, and based on robust trends. So yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this podcast and you're not reaping the rewards of the Jared Carabas gold mine, the runaway train that is your pick'em slate, then I would sign up and I would get involved.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say you should probably sign up using the promo code Jared. That's JARED to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That is Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared.
How about Rafael Devers being the guy to come through for you to seal your win from 2 nights ago?
With a homer.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I know we were texting after 2/3 of the leg were complete, and it was just down to Devers and the late slate. And yeah, the old friend comes through in dramatic fashion. What was obviously beyond sealing another win for the folks, what was your reaction to Devers being you picked him, so you obviously were believing in him, but what was your reaction in the moment?
It's always great. I mean, I wish I could say that this was the first time. It's not. It's always great when, the last player in your pick'em hits a homer to seal it. It's like, I only needed 1 total base here or 2, but then they just crank a homer and you're like, not only did we win, it's like an alley-oop, like windmill dunk to hit the pick'em.
Feels good.
As if, like a couple of singles, it's like, yeah, that gets the job done, but it's like, all right, yeah, good job. You completed the task, but a homer to win it is always like, bam, in your face. Not only did we win, but we like extra won. You know what I mean? So,
I feel like
another day at the office.
Yep. Ohtani, Manny Machado, Matt Wallner, the trio today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like some wins.
Yeah. We lost last night, but I really like the matchups.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like one of those, if you think of it like a boxing match, it's sort of like last night was the, and then you just, you come through,
Yeah.
right. You come through with today.
Yeah. Last night was like some lefty killers against some really shitty lefties. I was stunned. We didn't walk away with the dub last night, but you know who did walk away with the dub last night, Justin Havens?
Who?
Well, that would be the San Diego Padres, winners of 4 straight games, alongside the Los Angeles Dodgers, losers of 3 straight games. And boy, oh boy, do we have a tie atop the National League West division between, I don't even want to call it the 2 heavyweights. I feel like it's doing a disservice to the Padres by calling it. Like, I think they're right where they're supposed to be. Like, the fact that the Padres have played as well as they've played this year is not a surprise to me. They're a good team. The Dodgers, I mean, 567 winning percentage, like that's pretty damn good as well. But the Padres have officially caught them Dodgers. And again, like, it's not, to me, it's not too heavyweight. It's like the Dodgers are the heavyweight, but like, also don't sleep on the Padres. I don't think that they're like the little engine that could, like, it's not like some like underdog story, but here we are entering play on the August 13th, Dallas Braden Day and Steve Peralta Day, tied atop the National League West. What were your impressions when you saw both games go final last night, Jayhay?
I mean, I think you're right that I think you may be comfortable in the space of saying that you didn't underrate the Padres. I did underrate the Padres to a degree. Like, I
didn't have them making the playoffs.
This isn't just the Dodgers playing down a notch from expectations from where I thought. This is also the Padres playing up. Like, they deserve the quote unquote credit for that. It is in large part. I mean, both teams are on. You mentioned the win percentage earlier. Both teams, that works out to about a 92 win pace over 162. That's a few games north and south of where I thought these teams would be respectfully. But moving forward, yeah, I think you're right on. Like, I would even say that I think it's more of a toss up than the numbers suggest at this point. Like, I think last week you asked a question, or we asked the question, like, what was the level of concern, or if you're a Dodgers fan, are you concerned when the lead was 4 or 6 games? And at this point, I think it's just disingenuous to say that it's not a concern, that it's not a real, genuine possibility that the Dodgers are a wild card team. And what are the implications of that coming off of the World Series victory, and what a short series might look like for this team, and what that puts at risk and all that sort of stuff. But specific to the Padres, like, I don't have a ton new to say relative to when we talked about them the other day, big picture. But now that it is officially zeros, like 68 and 52 for both teams, it's fun that it's just kind of a reset clock on the season in the NL West. And all of the divisions, really, in a way that we're going to talk about, have reset in a fashion, and I think it's super exciting for the remainder of the season. And this is at the forefront.
I'll revisit the question from the other day. Are you in a position to where you could see them actually pulling this off and winning the division?
No question. I think if it's not a straight 50-50 coin flip, I think it's something very, very close to that. And I would still stubbornly say that, if we were replaying the entire season, maybe I would still take the Dodgers roster over the Padres. In fact, I know that I would, but that's not what we're doing, and that's not the state of these rosters respectively. And yeah, I think it's very much within the realm of possibility. And I know Fangraphs, as of right now, currently sees it as like a 70-30 division proposition. It feels closer than that, doesn't it? Like, I mean, I know it's the same record, so maybe it's just naturally going to feel closer than that. But I don't know. Like, I feel like there's a vulnerability about the Dodgers that has been on display for this season, that they may plow through again in much the way that they did last season. But I feel like some of the I hate to be that guy, but I feel like some of the computer odds making stuff is maybe overestimating the talent on paper and underestimating like the playability of that talent over the remainder of this kind of shortened window for the rest of the season. I don't know. That's just kind of my hunch on that.
Yeah. All right. So put it this way, because I was thinking about this morning when I was looking at, we've had the Padres Dodgers conversation a couple of times in the last week or so. So how can we take a different look at it? How can we, I guess, have a different conversation about it? And what I landed on was the question of what has to go right for the Padres for them to win the division, and does something necessarily have to go wrong for the Dodgers, for the Padres to win the division? Now that they're tied, they're neck and neck, does something, can the Padres just beat the Dodgers outright? Or if the Padres do win the division, will we look back from this point and say something went wrong for the Dodgers?
I think, okay, so great way to phrase it. That does provide a fresh spin on things. I think, I don't think anything has to go catastrophically wrong for the Dodgers for the Padres to take the division. Because I think if we kind of go back to the point I was trying to make long-winded earlier, if you like, what part of the Dodgers moving forward, rest of regular season, are you taking over the Padres and doing so with like a high degree of confidence? Because the answer to that question always has been, at least during this era, is the offense. And I think that's still probably the answer. But if you look at, for example, in the second half of the season, like since the All-Star break, the Padres offense has been as productive on the whole as the Dodgers offense has been. So I just like, to me, like the conversation about that we've had about that has involved basically every team in baseball this year, except for the Dodgers. The Dodgers have always had the asterisk next to them on, well, the talent level is all jumbled together and the AL is a lot of mediocre teams. And, all of these teams are built to win 85 to 95 win games, and there are no great teams. The caveat to that was always, but the Dodgers. And that may prove to be true over the longer sample, over the half-decade run here, or over the 3-season run. But I think if we're being honest with ourselves about where they stand right this second in 2025, August 13th, I think they're closer to just a part of that conversation now than they are this standalone super team juggernaut that needs to be treated differently than the way we've treated the Phillies and the Cubs and the Yankees and Astros and Blue Jays and all these other teams that at different points in the season we thought were the best teams in baseball. I intentionally excluded the Brewers there because the Brewers might just have their own rock solid case as the best team in baseball, that maybe they should be the ones that are treated a little differently. But I'm not so sure that it's the Dodgers. So to answer your question, if you're comparing them head to head against the Padres, again, I don't think a lot needs to go right for the Padres or wrong for the Dodgers for that to be the outcome. Do you disagree? Or
so here's what I was going to add to this, because I saw a very sneaky, like, what you're saying is not wrong, but it's not full context tweet. I follow some Dodger fans. And this morning I saw some Dodger fans talking about how, guys, don't worry about it. The Dodgers statistically have the easiest schedule for the rest of the season. That's true. On August 13th, as of today, the Los Angeles Dodgers statistically have the easiest schedule from now until the end of the season. Okay. Next sentence. The San Diego Padres have the second easiest schedule from today forward. So like, you can comfort yourself and say, yeah, no, that's true. That's true. The Dodgers do have the easiest schedule from here on out. But the San Diego Padres have the second easiest. They both have 42 games remaining on the season. The Dodgers' strength of schedule moving forward, the collective winning percentage of the teams that they have to play, 468. For the Padres, it's 470. So, I mean, they are playing the same quality of teams moving forward. For the Dodgers, they have the Phillies for 3, the Padres for 6, the Mariners for 3, the Reds for 3, but then they still have 7 remaining. Both teams still have 7 games remaining against the Rockies. The Dodgers have 3 left with the Pirates. The Padres have 3 left against the White Sox. They both have 3 left against the Orioles. The Dodgers have 1 remaining with the Angels. I don't know. Is that like a makeup game, I'm assuming? The Padres have 3 left with the Twins. The Dodgers have 6 left with the D-backs. The Padres have 3. The Dodgers play the Giants 7 more times. The Padres play them 5 more times. So, I mean, there's not a whole ton of difference between the schedules. So, yes, you can say that. The Dodgers, don't worry, guys. The Dodgers have the easiest schedule from here on out. Well, the Padres basically have the same schedule. So, may the best team win. It'll be a fight to the finish.
I can't wait. There's going to be some great baseball played out west down the stretch, it looks like.
Yeah. Like, I think that when you see that, it's like, okay, you guys are dead even entering play today. Well, who has the easier schedule? What if I told you the schedule is almost identical? It's almost the exact same.
Yeah, and you have the whole specter of last postseason hanging over, this stretch run between these two teams above and beyond, the traditional rivalry element of Dodgers Padres. So, yeah, I think it's great, and the natural contrast between these two teams. I think it is helpful to, part of why I think I've argued in the past that teams like the Dodgers and the mega teams, so to speak, are actually good for baseball and largely good for sports, is that it offers a team for fans to root against. And oftentimes that is just as important as a team to root for. And I think it would be a great rallying point for obviously Padres fans. But I think a lot of baseball fans as a whole, maybe a lot of fans whose teams are not playing super relevant baseball down the stretch, that's something to attach to. And I think that could be a uniquely fun story as the Padres try and take down, the Padres and their team of bullpenners try and take down the defending champs.
So remember when we were talking about the Red Sox and the Yankees last episode and how the Red Sox were ahead in the standings, but it was like they had a 75% chance of making the playoffs. The Yankees had 80. And I was like, how the fuck did the Yankees have a better chance of making it? Like, they've been playing worse. We can talk about the roster,
I remember that. Yep.
Strength of schedule, yada, yada. So we just broke down the Dodgers and Padres, who are neck and neck, same record. We just looked at their strength of schedule, identical from now until the end of the season. How much of a discrepancy between their percentages to win the division do you think that there is?
Oh, between Dodgers, Padres?
Because it's basically 0%. Like the Rockies have 0%, the Diamondbacks have 0%, the Giants have 0.1%. So you're talking about basically a 99.9% split.
How about give me like 70.4% to like 29.2%?
Did you look?
I looked earlier. I didn't look after you asked, but I already knew. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah. 29.2 for the Padres, 70.7 for the Dodgers. Is that really? It's all just roster?
Yeah, it is roster. It is a little bit of the rest of season stuff that you laid out that I understand is kind of slim for the reasons that you talked about. But yeah, it's I think it is mostly a baked in belief in the players and the depth chart that exists on the website and in the organization. But as I said before, I think some of those assumptions might be a little bit overdone at this point, and I think it's probably a lot closer than 70-30 would suggest.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. The Dodgers, they have the same record, the same strength of schedule remaining, and they're giving the Padres almost no shot to win the division.
No, they're giving them a shot. They're
not.
Come on.
They're not.
Come on. Well, let me
20%. That's not respect.
They have the 8th best division odds in baseball right now. They've got better division odds than the Yanks.
Well, the Yankees suck.
Well, what about the Mets and the Cubs?
I mean, that's another one that we need to talk about too. The Chicago Cubs. If you're a Cubs fan, do you just kind of like tip your cap to the Brewers? Like, you can't look at this as a collapse. You can't. Like, we're gonna look back on this and be like, holy fuck! Like, no one even challenged the Brewers in the NL Central. But I mean, like the Cubs would be what, a game back of first place in the NL West. Like, we just blew the Padres and the Dodgers. The Cubs would be a game back in that division, and they're 7.5 back. The Brewers are just a wagon right now. They're not losing to anybody.
Man, how do I phrase this right? I agree and I disagree. I agree that, okay, so I agree that the predominant story, the one that we should spend the most time talking about, is about the Brewers. That this is about the Brewers. This is about them being the best team in baseball for a prolonged period of time, resulting in the best record in baseball through August 13th. As the note, I think that you said, I think Langs had it, it's the best 60-game stretch in franchise history. Like, we've never seen the Brewers in a lot of ways as a franchise play this well. I agree that is the number one story. I do think there is an element of collapse in play for the Cubs here, though, because, like, if you peel back, like, kind of why this is happening, I know we had concerns about the starting rotation, particularly post Justin Steele. I know that the trade deadline was something of a shoulder shrug, and then Soroka immediately got hurt as one of their primary trade deadline acquisitions. I know that was disappointing, but the one thing that this team has hung its hat on, and that we, quote unquote, spent time blowing earlier in the season, was this like record pacing, if not all time great, then certainly recent Cubs history great offense. And if you look on the whole and individually at what this offense has done, X date, whatever, second half, whatever it is, it's different for individual players, obviously. It has been a near total collapse for the offense. And like, the two guys that you can, with the exception of like Matt Shaw and Nico Horner, you can almost point to any player and have quote unquote fun with their splits or whatever. But the two guys that I think are the most interesting by far, because they're the most important to the Cubs, are PCA and Kyle Tucker. And, I know when we were having the PCA conversation earlier in the season, or when we were giving him credit, or it felt like every other podcast I was updating PCA homer stolen base trends and slashes. And I want to see the guys. This is not a rooting against him sort of scenario, but like, I don't think anybody really truly thought that he was going to win the MVP at the end of the day. He may still, but I think the odds were always up against that. But being a finalist, maybe. But it's been such a brutal run of late, where we're talking about like he's 2 for 34 with a 145 OPS over his last 9 games. If you want a larger sample, he's hitting 232 with a 272 on base percentage and a 740 OPS over his last 65 games. That goes back to May 24th. This is the lowest his OPS has been since May 1st. So like, none of this is to say that Pete Crow Armstrong with a low 800s or mid 700s OPS isn't still a really, really valuable player, but he was a driving force for this offense for a decent chunk of the season and has been nowhere near that sort of consistent threat for a long time. And I think probably more concerning, because a PCA regression, I think, could always be a little bit baked into the cake offensively. is what Kyle Tucker has not done. In a year where we were talking, well, Vlad gets $500 million. What does Kyle Tucker get in the offseason? He's been a better player, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I don't know if I don't want to say that he's hurt because I don't want to I don't want that
give
to
him an excuse he's not asking for.
Yeah, or like have that be misconstrued or misreported like I have information, which I obviously do not. It's, it's me. But the numbers are, to me, ultra concerning, no matter kind of what sample size slice you want to take, because he has one homer over 33 games, which goes back to June 29th. If you want to do just since July 1st, he's hitting 209 with a 617 OPS and 4 extra base hits in 32 games. He has 0 extra base hits and a 465 OPS in August. And his OPS is the lowest it's been since late March. So, like, is Kyle Tucker with an 849 OPS a very good player? Absolutely, yes. Has he been, on the whole, one of the 10 best players in the NL this season? Also, yes. But he has done basically nothing as an offensive player during what can be described as the Cubs' fall out of the NL Central race in a lot of ways. And as the guy that was acquired with a win now mentality going into hundreds of millions of dollars in potential earnings, that he has been a power outage like this. And I think on the whole, an 849 OPS would be described as some level of disappointing for Kyle Tucker in a season with the Cubs. That those two guys, like, it's hard to, and it's not just them. I'm not putting it up, like, Suzuki's been really bad lately. Michael Busch has been awful since basically the All-Star break. But I know that was kind of long-winded and kind of very specific in a lot of cases, but to me, it is a little bit about what the Cubs have not done offensively of late.
So we've seen this happen before over the course of baseball history, where let's say that they finish with an 8-game gap in the standings, the Brewers and the Cubs.
Yep.
If they were to match up in the postseason and say it was a best of 7 series, would it feel like there was an 8-game gap between the two teams if they matched up head to head in a best of 7? Because I don't think so. I think it would in the head to head competition. I feel like it would be closer than what ended up being the standings that year.
I feel like that's how we would think of it mentally. But I also feel like we're all just trained in baseball at this point because we know intellectually, you and me, the people listening to this, that baseball is a fickle sport and that just about anything can happen in a short series. We build that in to say, okay, well, I know that the Brewers are better. They were 8 games better during the regular season, but that's 8 games over 162, right? And if you break that down to what does that mean? How many games better were they over a month? How many games better were they over 2 weeks? How many games better were they over any 5-game stretch in a given season? The answer ends up being 0 games better or 1 game better. Like that's how small these margins are in baseball when you are talking about 8 games over 162 games. So I think you're right that anything could happen. I think you're right that we would be correct to frame it that way. I also think if the Brewers finish 8 games better than the Cubs, that we will think of this as pretty much exclusively the season of the Milwaukee Brewers. We will not remember or spend time remembering that the Cubs led the division for the first X number of months of the season, outside of the fact that I think that the Cubs ownership, front office, decision makers, players should be held accountable, quote unquote, whatever that means appropriately, for that sort of failure. Like, I don't think just because it's the season of the Milwaukee Brewers and we are giving them the credit they deserve as an organization, as a team, as a unit for just 2025, that doesn't mean that the Cubs shouldn't face really, really difficult questions this offseason from their fan base if they lose the division by 8 fucking games after leading the division for the first 2.5, 3 months of the season. That's a bad look. That's a really bad look. And just because the bad look happened in July into August and you gave us a month and a half or 2 months of baseball to forget how badly you stumbled over yourself in the middle of the season, that doesn't mean that you don't have to face the music for that in the offseason. And you could absolutely find clips of me saying this, and I'm assuming both you and Dow is saying it as well, that if not saying the division was over, then the Cubs are doing what we expected them to do and what this roster deserved to do, and they are the best team in the division. And if we were saying that in May or June, and the outcome by the end of the season is the Brewers win the division by 7, 8, 10 games, well, then what the fuck happened to the Cubs, man? Like, that has to be part of the accountability here. And I think outside of Chicago, nobody can care. Inside of Chicago, they should care quite a bit.
I hear everything that you're saying, but if I'm a Cubs fan, I'm sitting there and I'm like, our competition over the last month has played fucking 850 ball. 850, Jayhay. They're 27-5. Like, who the fuck what team in baseball is not getting passed by the Brewers? Every team is. They have the best record in baseball. And over the last month, they have an 844 winning percentage. What team can sustain that wave of winning from their closest competitor in their own division? Like, I get what you're saying. There's definitely reasons to point to the Cubs and be like, this has failed. This is not sustained. This is a concern. Fine. I don't know that there's many teams that don't have those things where it's like, all right, this thing from the first half didn't sustain. This is now a concern of ours that wasn't a concern of ours from April through June. Every team has those issues. I don't think that there isn't. Like, we just know there is not a team in baseball that could have held off the Milwaukee Brewers run that they've been on. Every team is getting passed by them.
Agree. They're on a 102 win pace on the season overall. So not even the hot streak that you're talking about, just the net out on their season right now, their current .630 winning percentage would be a 102 win pace. So I agree with you that nobody was going to withstand or will withstand a 102 win pace. But I think in this case, I do think optics matter a little bit. And the idea that it's not so much that the Cubs didn't withstand a 102 win pace by their opponent. It's that they got blown the fuck over by their opponent. And that the division conversation is fucking over. It is open and shut. Feel free to clip this off if that proves to be wrong, but it is statistically right now over and done with by August 13th. And yeah, maybe the Cubs were never going to win 102 games, but they're on a 92 win pace themselves. That's a 10 game gap if they continue their current. So you said 8, whatever it ends up being, 8, 10. Like, if you lose the division by
7.5 right now.
Yeah, 7.5 right now. The pace that they're on currently, if they both continue them, will end up with a 10 game gap between them. If that's what it ends up being, then that is, I think, on some level, has to be considered unacceptable if you're a Cubs fan, because buddy, they have not won the division since 2020. And a lot of people are not going to put that much stock into that for reasons that are in some cases justified, in some cases not. But if you go further back than that, they haven't won since 2017. We're talking about a full season of winning the division has not happened since 2017 for the Cubs.
Sure. But if I'm a Cubs fan, and maybe you can call this coping.
Yeah.
But if the Cubs finish 10 games back of the Brewers, and I look over and I'm like, the Dodgers won the NL West, and if they were in this division, they would have finished 7 back of the, like, no one was taking down. If the Brewers finish this out and they finish the season with the best record in baseball, and you're a Cubs fan or anybody, you just have to tip your cap. If it was a weak ass division where it was like division winner is 95 wins and you finished with 92 wins, it's like, man, like, don't you think we could have, like, there's some instances where we could have won a few games and, you know, been close or surpassed them. If they're finishing this thing out with the best record in baseball, it's not like you can't be, I'm not saying you can't be disappointed, but you do have to tip your cap and be like, all right, man, like, hell of a fucking season for the Brew Crew.
I agree. The first reaction is tipping your cap. But I think if you were winning the division regularly as the Cubs, and it just so happened that one year you were just blown back by a juggernaut Milwaukee team that was kind of unstoppable and a 1 year force to be reckoned with, okay, then you deserve the benefit of the doubt there. They have finished fourth, third, second, and right now are in second place in the NL Central. And I don't think that you deserve that same level of benefit of the doubt if you have failed to win the division in each of your preceding 4 seasons before this turn of bad luck for a team that also whooped your ass in the division the previous seasons as well. So yeah, I think at some point yes, tip of the cap. Okay, now that we've tipped our cap, why does this team keep kicking our ass? Why do we keep only meeting or underwhelming expectations? Why does that team keep exceeding expectations, their own, ours, the general consensus every single season? Why is that happening? Why are we the Cubs and why are we the runners up all the time? And what do we need to do to close that gap? I think that the idea that the Cubs should be just kind of and I'm not saying you're saying this, but this is where this would lead, is just this idea of throwing your hands up on the Milwaukee fucking Brewers is pathetic and should not be the standard for the Chicago Cubs. And if that means they need to go out and spend more money, if that means that, they need to do X job better in terms of player development or development once they reach the major leagues or game plan, whatever it is, that there does need to be a level of self-reflection, I think, in the offseason if they get their doors blown off and lose the division yet again. Yet again being a key part there.
On the subject of the Brewers, they didn't kick his ass, but they had it was 4 innings, right? They had
it was
two bombs.
It was a dumpy start. Yeah.
It was not a good start. No. But I feel like any time that like Skeens doesn't go 7 with 9 strikeouts, you're like, oh my God. Yeah. 11 straight wins for the Brew Crew. I feel like, you look at their schedule, like, look at they're playing the Pirates. All right, well, look at what they did to Paul Skeens, man. Like that is a feather in the cap for them. Just wanted to note that Ohtani hit his 43rd.
Yep.
Dodgers get walked off. Ohtani and some other news. I don't know if we want to talk about that.
No, I read that article. I don't have time for that bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people will be like, "Oh, you're just I don't know enough about real estate fraud or I don't even know what happened. But yeah, he's getting sued. Him and his agent are getting sued for something. I feel like that's just one of those things where it's like, oh, it's Ohtani. I can get some money out of this.
You know what?
I find it hard to believe that Ohtani was. Yeah, it's like this guy's got $750 million. Let me see if I can get some of that. Oh, shout out to Pete Alonso.
Hey,
the all-time home run leader in Mets history, hit not 1 but 2 home runs. He hit a home run to celebrate the Mets home run record. Which franchise home run record is the most prestigious? Probably the Yankees.
Yeah, probably. Yep. Yankees. Just the franchise. Is there even another one that like resonates?
I mean, the Red Sox is Ted Williams. Because he hit all 521 with the Sox. Poppy hit more than 500 home runs in his career, but he had those with the Twins. So I don't.
Yeah, I just think
Ted.
Yeah, I just think most, like, in terms of nationally recognized numbers, I'm not sure that a team home run record usually rises to that level. Obviously some all-time great players for the Red Sox, but how many hardcore Red Sox fans could tell you, the exact number of home runs that Poppy hit with the Red Sox? Not his total career homers with the Red Sox.
I bet you they couldn't tell you his career total.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. I'm not even turning my nose up at that. I'm just saying it's a hard question. But
I only know that because
to be the Mets all-time leader is cool.
Poppy hit 20 more career home runs than Ted. But I think he hit like 50 something with the Twins. What are like the most impressive? Let me see if there's a list of MLB team home run records. Like which ones are the most hard to reach, I guess.
Oh, well, I mean the Yankees.
Well, yeah. Each team's all-time home run leader. The Blue Jays. Who do you think that? Let's play a little game here. Who's the Blue Jays all-time home run leader?
Delgado.
It's Delgado. 336. The Orioles. Don't overthink
Frank
it.
Robinson.
No.
Cal Ripken Jr.
431. Cal Ripken Jr. The Rays.
Longo.
Yep. 261. We just did Ted. 521 with the Sox. Babe Ruth with the Yankees. 659. The Guardians.
Oh, come on.
Do you know the number?
No. Not off the top of my head.
Jim Tomei, 337.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Royals.
George Brett.
317. The Tigers.
Miggy?
Nope.
No, it's not. It's Kaline. Al Kaline.
It is Al Kaline. Just one shy of 400. This one, the Twins, is probably the next in line with the Yankees for like the highest total that you have to pass.
Killebrew?
Yeah, 559 for Harmon Killebrew.
Yeah, that's a big number.
Yeah. The White Sox would also be tough.
Well, it's got to be Frank, right?
Yeah, that one's going to be impossible because I don't think the White Sox would ever have a player that could hit basically 500 home runs that they would able to afford to keep.
That's a good point though. Like which of these I mean we don't have to itemize them, but which of these are like actually borderline completely unattainable for the
Yeah, the White Sox are never going to be able to afford a player that can pass Frank Thomas.
Well, not under the Reinsdorfs. But as the second team in Chicago, absolutely they could afford it if under the right ownership. Yeah.
Yeah. The Angels?
Who is Trout?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Astros. This is a high one.
Bagwell?
449.
Yeah, that's big. That's big.
The A's, I want to say like this one is on the border of being safe.
Oh, I was gonna say on the border of being safe.
Yeah, they'd have to like they'd have to have like Nick Kurtz.
Is it
sign like a cheap ass 10-year extension or something like that.
McGuire, right? McGuire?
Yeah, 363. That feels like it's right on the border of being passable.
I was gonna say, I feel like you get Kurtz on the deal you're sort of talking about, and like let's do this.
Yeah, that's not crazy. The Mariners,
Griff,
417 with the Mariners, Griffey. The Rangers.
I mean, Julio's going to be there a long time. You give, probably doesn't have the top end pop to get the 400 homers, but we'll see, man.
No.
What was the next one you said?
The Rangers.
The Rangers record book is one of those that is mostly pretty depressing on both sides of the baseball.
This is a very respectable. I'll tell you this: the Rangers single season home run mark is higher than the A's.
The single season?
I mean, all time.
Is it Mr. Fraudulent MVPs himself?
Yes.
Juan
you talking Juan Gone?
Yeah, baby. I am.
Jeez.
Jeez Louise, man. Did he just slander the all-time great like that? Yes,
damn. You know what? I feel like we're very dumb for missing this one. The Braves is never getting past.
Well, we didn't miss it. We just didn't complete the conversation. I didn't say I was done thinking about it.
I guess.
Hank Aaron's is not going to be passed either.
This one is like the Braves. Hank Aaron hit more with the Braves than Babe Ruth did with the Yankees, yeah?
Yeah.
That's got to be the highest single season mark of any team. Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, good for Hank Aaron. 733. See what happens when Dallas isn't here? We just have these awesome all-time baseball conversations.
I know. Just clear out, dude.
Yeah, see you later, dude. Beat it, geek. The Marlins.
The Marlins. Another tough one.
No, don't overthink it.
Oh, no. Yeah. All right. Stanton.
Yeah, 267 for Stanton. The Mets we know is Pete Alonso, 253.
Yeah. Past Darryl Strawberry.
The Nationals.
Ryan Zimmerman,
284.
Nice.
The Phillies.
Mike Schmidt.
Michael Jack Schmidt with 548. The Brewers.
Ryan Braun.
352.
This is
the
great.
St. Louis Cardinals.
Stan Musial.
Yeah, you would think it's Albert Pujols. It's not. He left for 10 years. Stan Musial, 475. The Chicago Cubs. This one probably an unbreakable
tough to break
one
too.
As well. Yeah.
Ernie Banks.
No.
Wait.
No.
Oh. Yeah, sorry. Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, slamming Sammy Sosa, 545. Pittsburgh Pirates.
The Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's go with Willie Stargell.
That's correct. We Are Family, 475. And then the Reds.
The Reds. What about Frank Robinson?
How about no? Yeah.
What about Johnny Bench?
How about Johnny Bench, 389? The D-backs, a former starting nine baseball is dead guest.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Must be a pretty team all time. It's got to be Luis Gonzalez.
It's Luis Gonzalez, 224. Wow. Yeah. The Dodgers, you could give me a million guesses. I never would have guessed the Dodgers all-time home run leader. I feel like Shohei is going to pass this pretty easily.
I am not going to be thrown off by that comment, and I'm going to say Duke Snider.
Duke Snider, 389. Like that for a historic franchise. No, right. Your all-time home run record is 389 by Duke Snider.
I think that's actually true of the Dodgers record book overall. I think it is, given their place like next to the franchises that they're next to, like their all-time leaders in individual stats, I think are actually pretty muted. And if you think about who their greatest players were in a lot of those cases, or in a couple, because we're only talking about the greatest players, their careers were abbreviated for different reasons. Like Koufax, maybe the greatest peak ever, but not on a lot of counting lists. Jackie Robinson, maybe the greatest second baseman ever, obviously doesn't have the length for reasons out of his control. So just kind of an interesting little quirk.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Well, in Robinson's case, much more, I shouldn't diminish it by saying it's a quirk. It's fucking bullshit, but a statistical quirk is what I meant.
Sure. The San Francisco Giants.
Willie Mays.
646. The San Diego Padres may have the most leapable all-time, like more so than for a franchise that's been around for how many years?
A long time. 50. What is it?
I was gonna say, didn't they? I want to say in 2019 did they celebrate 50 years?
Yes.
Yes. I feel like I could break the Padres all-time home run record.
Well, before I answer it, why aren't you?
I don't like traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, time zones really fuck me up. I don't like
That's
it.
a good reason just to say it's not for me. Is the answer Ken Caminiti?
No. I'm
Is the
surprised
answer?
that yeah.
Oh, it just happened, didn't it?
It just happened.
Manny.
Yeah, it happened last September. Hit a couple home runs, actually. Manny Machado, 167.
That's right, because he broke what is quite literally the most anonymous previous all-time home run leader, who at the time, I remember I had to fucking look up literally, like, who was this guy? That's how. Do you know who it is? Do you have the list, actually? It's Nate
Colbert.
Yeah. Nate
Who
Colbert.
The fuck is that?
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I had to actually go back, and I wasn't joking. I meant I had to go back and see who Nate Colbert was. And it turns out he was a 3-time All-Star. All 3 of those All-Stars were in consecutive seasons, 71 to 73, all with the Padres. And for a hot second there, the guy could mash. Including 2 years where he topped out at 38 homers. Little one-dimensional in terms of, just kind of slugging and not a ton of on base, not a ton of other stuff going on. Peak was very short, was out of baseball by after his age 30 season. But Nate Colbert was the best the Padres had in terms of career home run hitting until Manny Machado came along.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like, Ken Caminiti had the MVP season. Well, I mean, I didn't know who Nate Colbert was, but I think, like, if your all-time great player is Tony Gwynn, who notoriously not a home run hitter, just a good hitter, then it's like, all right, well, then if it's not Tony Gwynn who didn't hit home runs, then who's your all-time home run leader? And it's like, well, let me search my brain here. I don't know, Manny Machado, I guess. It's like, correct.
And I believe number 3 on the list is I've closed it out after searching off of Nate Colbert, but I believe number 3 on the list is Adrian Gonzalez too, who had a nice run hitting homers with the Padres, but we're not talking about an 8 or 10 year run,
No.
Nor are we talking about, like, I know he hit 40 homers, but when I think of Adrian Gonzalez and my lasting impression of him, it's not as a guy at or near the top of a franchise home run leaderboard. It's a guy who hit like 28 homers and had a, good batting average, on base percentage profile. And he did a lot of other things, but
did he not have a 40 home run season with San Diego?
No, he did. I just said that a couple seconds ago.
Yeah.
I'm acknowledging that he did hit 40 homers, but that is not how I think of him as a baseball player.
Right. Yeah, he and I think by the time he got to San Diego, that was already his like 3rd organization. He went like what, Texas, Miami, San Diego.
Yeah. He bounced around for a second for a guy who was
a 1-1.
Yeah, and really good, right?
Was he not a 1-1? I think he was.
He was a 1-1. Yep.
Yeah.
But by the Marlins. So he was a 1-1 who was out of his organization before he even debuted in the major leagues. Like, he debuted with Texas. Pretty fascinating career. He falls into that bucket of players, at least for me, that were super relevant when I was paying attention during his era, but who, like, hangs him up. And, we're only 7 years removed from Adrian Gonzalez's last, taste of the big leagues. And, you go an entire year, like we've gone this entire season without talking about Adrian Gonzalez. And I don't know when the previous appropriate time would have been to talk about him, but, like, I just feel like there's a large bucket of players that were fucking awesome at Major League Baseball that we loved or paid attention to. Maybe nobody loved Adrian Gonzalez, but paid attention to. And, you just never spend any more time talking about these players. And maybe that's just the stats research, kind of MVP baseball nostalgia part of me that likes that sort of stuff. But can't forget about these guys, man.
Nah, I remember, I don't even know if I should tell this story, but who cares? It's not that big of a deal. It had to have been like around that time that they wanted to trade for him, or like they did trade for him. And I met this girl at a bar, and I mean, like, we were like kind of attracted to each other, whatever, but like there was no like emotional connection or whatever. But then when I got her name, I was like, I have to take this girl out on a date. Her name was Adriana Gonzalez. I was like, all right. I was like, yeah, like I was like, who knows? It might be meant to be. Big fan of Adrian Gonzalez. I was like, what if my soulmate is actually Adriana Gonzalez? Yeah, I hope she's out there having a great life. I think that was the only time we went on one date, and that was it. But hope she's doing well wherever she is.
So you were like the Miami Marlins of the Adriana Gonzalez career arc.
Yeah.
Or Florida Marlins, I guess, at the time he was selected. But yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Just want to know where you fit into her life cycle. Sounds like a Marlins situation.
Yeah, big time. Yeah,
all
right. The Rockies. I believe that's the last team on this list.
Last team on what list?
The all-time home run leaders.
Oh. I was like, why are we talking about them? Huh? Yeah. Todd Helton.
Todd Helton is correct. 369. Nice. You did pretty damn good here, kid.
Thank you. Off the cuff, I'm pretty happy with my performance. Ken Caminiti was a legitimately bad guess, but everything else, I feel
that's not a bad guess.
I don't think he's anywhere near, and I should have remembered the Nate Colbert thing. That should have been my pathway to getting Machado, but other than him just being awesome. But overall, I think that was
Machado
something like
didn't
26
break it
out of 30.
last year. Ken Camineti's not a bad guess. I mean, he played 4 seasons with the Padres and hit 121 home runs in those 4 seasons. So like he was kind of close.
Yeah. Trying to count the ones that I got wrong. I think I'm not going to spend time on an actual podcast counting that, but I think I got like 3 or 4 wrong. That's not bad. That's
not bad at all. No. And the ones that you got wrong, you got right on probably the second guess.
Yeah, we bounced back.
Yeah.
Miggy, that was one I got wrong. Came through with K-Line. We'll be better next time. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Also appreciate Ridge Wallets.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's always
you asked me
nice
to name the
know.
best wallets, the industry leading wallet. I would have named that first try.
Yeah, no doubt. That's not even something that you would have had to think about either. You guys know Ridge. They make amazing wallets, luggage, and premium everyday gear. They are doing their legendary sweepstakes for the 5th time, and this time it's insane. 2 lucky winners will get to choose between a $300,000 Lamborghini, a $150,000 Hennessy Velociraptor, or $100,000 cash. What would you pick, Jayhay?
Well, everybody knows I'm a family man, so I'd have to pick the Lamborghini, baby. Let's do this. Let's fucking
get that Lamborghini. Let's get that Lamborghini, kid.
Start a new life out there on my own, thanks to Ridge Wallets.
Also, I don't know why the $100,000 cash is an option. Wouldn't you just get the $300,000 Lamborghini and sell it?
I wonder what you would find the resale market to be, or what the tax complications are with acquiring a car and then reselling it. Maybe that's why they're offering
more than $100K though. No.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe there's a built-in value for the hassle that you don't have to deal with in turning around a very expensive, kind of luxury item. Either way, headline takeaway, what a set of options.
Yeah. I mean, for like a contest, I feel like we would do something like, how about a signed Dallas Braden baseball?
Well, we were having that exact conversation the other day after the podcast, right? Which I won't reveal too much of, but sure. we were floating some really tantalizing things for the listeners and consumers and stuff like that. Did not have $100,000 in cash or a Lamborghini or respectfully, whatever the hell a Velociraptor is. That is so far beyond my class that I don't even know what that is. But any of those things I think would be giveaways that would, well, put it this way. They are the only giveaways that have ever gotten our attention quite like this.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rich Wallet.
So I'm Googling it now because admittedly, I don't know what that is either. and it is a high performance modified version of the Ford F-150 Raptor. So this looks like it has it's a pickup truck. If I'm seeing this correctly, it's a pickup truck that has 6 wheels. It's huge.
I mean, all right, so dumb question. Where? Oh, I see. Okay. I was going to ask, where are the other wheels?
Yeah, in the back.
And this
so they got 4 in the back, 2 in the front.
And the idea is this is like extra traction, extra like kind of badassery.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not so like I need to, like, if I'm buying a motor vehicle, I need to be able to park it in Boston, which is a nightmare. So for as cool as the Velociraptor looks,
might not be
I think I've got to take the Lambo here.
Yeah. Also maybe challenging to park in a city like Boston, but maybe worth the hassle. I'm looking at pictures of this Velociraptor now. Now that we're on this path, I have always wondered why we don't just throw more wheels on cars and trucks, though, because that's kind of not a thing I've shared publicly. Just one of those thoughts that I kept private and kind of swished around in my own brain. But now that I'm seeing a Velociraptor is something that people are out there with, I'm thinking, yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me.
I've never seen a Velociraptor in the wild.
I don't think I have either, but I also might not have even appreciated what I was looking at. It's like one of those things where, they do those scientific experiments where you introduce something so foreign to the landscape that people don't even process it, right? And it just kind of goes by. Maybe that's what I was seeing, because it was like something from outer space. But I mean, the folks at Hennessy have and the folks at Ridge Wallet via Hennessy have blessed us with a dream that's become reality in the Velociraptor. A personal dream for me, more wheels.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the Lamborghini, pictures of the Lamborghini here on Google. And I suppose instead of buying my house, I could have just bought this Lamborghini and still lived in my, crackhead apartment in Saugus. It would have been cool. I mean, like, all right, you still, you live in this apartment building that's been raided by the feds 3 times for the drug dealers that also live here. But you get this really cool Lamborghini. Yeah, so
I was going to say it probably makes less sense from a streaming perspective to take the Lambo and live in the crack house. But given how, popular kind of behind the scenes viral video content is these days, maybe us streaming from the crack house environment,
right,
while you also having a Lambo, actually would have been the better idea than having a nice studio in the comfort of, the undisclosed location where you currently live.
Yeah, I think I live
with a normal car. I don't even know what your car is. Do you even have a car?
Yeah, I have a Charger.
Oh, you're like one of those guys. I think I've said this before. Like, I've never seen you run.
Yeah.
You're not a driving man to me.
No,
you're a being driven sort of man to me.
Wow.
Or a doesn't need to leave his house sort of man, or is taking the Uber to where he needs to go.
Sure.
It's not an insult. It's not an insult at all.
Guy.
At all.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking it that way. No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because being a driver or not a driver is not good or bad. It's just it's just what it is.
Yeah, no, I drive. All
right.
Yeah, I mean, we just drove all the way to New Jersey and back to the Zach Bryan concert.
And you drove the whole way? Or drove, you were the main driver? Yeah.
I was the only driver. Yep. 7 hours there, 5 hours back. Just a man and his Charger. Yep. Could have been a Lambo though. If I took a left where I took a right, I could have been driving a Lambo.
I think my brother has a Charger. It's a nice car.
It's a great car.
Not a Lambo.
It's a 2020, and I bought it right when I moved back from New York. So I've had the same car since I moved back from New York, and I believe it's the last year that they made Chargers. So it's kind of a collector's item. I do eventually. I would like a new car, but like I'm not a car guy, so like I don't I don't feel like I need a new car. Like, it still runs perfectly fine, still looks great, but it's certainly not a Lamborghini Huracan Storado.
Okay.
Because that's what you could win in this Ridge Wallet contest.
Right back to that. Yeah. Let's circle back.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, like, again, I'm a Dodge Charger guy. I was thinking about getting like a black Cadillac, or
Ooh.
I saw I've been watching Ray Donovan. He's got like a nice Mercedes, but I feel like it's too snobby. I feel like Cadillac is more like, it's nice, but it's not in your face. What's like, do you think Mercedes is snobby?
I mean, on some level, it has to be right. On a baseline level, there is an element of snobbery to it, right? Because that's why people buy it. It's an element of, it's a class item. It's a class.
When I was in the UK, they were like $5 over there because they're domestic. So everyone had a Mercedes.
It's all perspective, right? What's rare to you, or what's available to you.
Yeah.
I think they're nice looking cars, but
they are
also, maybe a Velociraptor is more for me.
That's true. I could see you being a Velociraptor guy.
Yeah. So I'll just go ahead and win this contest or whatever.
Well, I'm being told that there's only 1,500 Lamborghini Huracan Storados that exist. And Ridge is giving you the chance to own one of those. This Lambo is the world's first off-road supercar. I could see you being an off-road Lambo guy.
Oof, I don't even know what that looks like.
Yeah.
You know what? I kind of think of myself and the life that I lead as something of an off-road Lambo man.
Yeah.
Like I'm just
because
a Lambo
to me,
who goes off-road.
Yeah, like you're not a guy that's going down a path that's been paved for you. You're paving your own path, and on top of that, you're a luxury item to me.
Yeah, I'm doing it with class.
Yeah, class
Paving
and luxury.
Class.
Yep.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Down.
It's a naturally aspirated V10. That's a lot of horsepower, and has 610 horsepower. That's crazy. The Hennessy Velociraptor also has an insane 558 horsepower twin turbo. It's basically an American muscle car put into an all-terrain truck. There's no reason not to enter. You can enter completely free at ridge.com. So why not take your shot? And if you want to boost your odds, every dollar that you spend on Ridge's website gets you one additional entry. So grab a Ridge wallet, a power bank, phone case, whatever you need, rack up those entries. Ridge has over 50 colors and styles. It's not just functional, it's personal, whether you want sleek black forged carbon fiber or a wallet that features your favorite NFL team, your favorite MLB team, or one that just matches your vibe. They have you covered. And they're not just about wallets, as we said. They create premium everyday carry essentials like key cases, suitcases, and rings, all built with the same sleek, durable design. Ready to upgrade your wallet and maybe your ride for a limited time only. Head on to ridge.com. Use the promo code BID at checkout. That'll get you 10% off your order and a chance to win Ridge's biggest sweepstakes ever, a Lamborghini Huracan Storado, a Hennessy Velociraptor, or $100,000 in cash. No purchase necessary to enter, but every dollar you spend gets you more entries. That's ridge.com. Use the promo code BID after you purchase. They'll ask you where you heard about them. Please tell them that BID and Justin Havens sent you. We'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I think you should enter, Jayhay, because think of the content opportunities of you just pulling up in your fucking Lambo.
I wonder if I'm like barred from entering because, we're doing ad reads for them, and, it might be fishy if like the human Lamborghini won the Lamborghini contest. You know what I mean? It'd be like, that guy is a Lamborghini.
I don't think so. I think.
All right, I'll answer.
Yeah, I think if you were to like go on the site and buy a Ridge wallet, it's like you're not catering to me. You're not pulling my name just because I'm on the show. Like I bought a Ridge wallet.
Well, and really, I think what you've hit on more directly is that I actually do need a new wallet. I've got kind of a Costanza wallet situation going on.
Yeah.
And so maybe regardless of whether I win the Lamborghini or the Velociraptor or whatever, I should just hop on Ridge and get myself a new wallet, and that problem will be solved. And then maybe I'll get a Lamborghini. And if I don't, I still have a new wallet.
That's true. I mean, if you don't win the Lambo, I'm pretty sure they don't take the wallet away.
No. And in fact, I could just call my new wallet the Velociraptor, you know?
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Who's to stop me from doing that? Nobody.
Let's get you a Ridge wallet. And if you don't win the Lamborghini or the Velociraptor, let's get you like a Velociraptor sticker you can put on your wallet. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll bring like a Velociraptor toy to the stream.
Yeah.
And watch the wild card round.
Yeah. You're unfortunately, it does appear like you're going to have to buy me whatever snacks I want for the stream because it wasn't a jersey bet. It was a snacks bet. And I don't think you have a candles chance. What is it called? A candles chance in, I don't know the phrase. It's something about a candle not standing. Yeah, man, something like that. Yeah, you're going to lose is what I meant to say.
I do not feel good about that. But now while we're on the topic of bets, imagine the level of addiction and kind of like rock bottomness that you would have to reach to text someone on the side, not even like on, let's say, a baseball is dead text thread for the group, directly on the side, and ask for their address and have that address provided to you and still not have sent that jersey 3 weeks later. I mean, just your classic case of trying to buy yourself a little bit more time, right? And then you scrap up the funds for the jersey and you're ready to buy that Cal Raleigh jersey or in his case, what else does he owe me? The Jose Ramirez jersey.
He owes you 2 jerseys?
He owes me his portion of the Cal Raleigh jersey, and he owes me a full share of the Jose Ramirez jersey from the Guardians series bet.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That I think is really when his addiction went downhill. Like the home run derby thing that like we all got in on, like that's a pretty natural opportunity, and we were all kind of eyes wide open on that one. He just comes off of that L and like having Cal Raleigh throw it in his face and Rooker being the one to be robbed and, to cost him the jersey and all this sort of stuff. And then he just gets right back into like, and he's like, it would be a good idea thinking the A's are going to win this series. And that, of course, was always a bad idea. And shows kind of the depths of the problem that we're dealing with, which is why, I won't do it today because it's his birthday. I would never have done it today, but it's why in general, I'm kind of hesitant to be like, hey man, where's my jersey? Because you just don't know like kind of what state he's in.
You should follow up and just be like, I just, trying to get a feel for where the jersey situation's at. It is interesting that you go ahead.
I just think you have to start to wonder whether there's a 1-to-1 correlation between I owe an overwhelming number of jerseys to I'm not showing up for the podcast today. I'm kind of avoiding. I'm like, if he misses today and maybe like, I'm not going to make Thursday, then all of a sudden he's bought himself like nearly a full week actually, until he'll have to see me and I'll be like, you have my jerseys?
Yeah.
Are they here yet? Do you need my address again?
I mean, the jersey that he owes me is from last year. And so the same thing with Dallas is the same thing with Hosmer. Now I got to shake down Hosmer. He owes me a jersey. And I have to shake down 2 millionaires, 2 multi-millionaires who haven't sent me jerseys yet because the delay is that they're waiting for their way to get the jersey for free hasn't come through yet.
Yeah, I'm so much more poor than the people that owe me things, and eventually we're going to have to take things into our. I mean, we kind of know where Hosmer lives, and presumably he's going to show up for the postseason wild card stuff. If we don't see him before then, we may very well see him before then. But if he refuses the jersey bet, a spin-off video series could be like finding Eric Hosmer, and we like hit the road, and we just kind of. I'm not going to throw the town out, but we go around the town where we might know that he lives and try and find where Hosmer lives and get our jersey. That could be another fun kind of viral video tent pole.
I think. Yeah. From her time with Nesson, I do have his wife's contact. Yeah, so I can be like, hey, we want to surprise Eric with we have balloons. We'd love to come by and surprise him. And next thing you know, we're raiding the house for a World Series jersey.
Yeah. And maybe the ring too. Maybe I'll just take the World Series ring.
Yeah, as collateral.
Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We don't mean to toss out threats that, aren't necessary yet, but
well, in Dallas's case, it's beyond the point of threat.
Overdue. Yeah. Well overdue. We should have been in contact with his spouse a long time ago.
Correct.
And it's only out of, I guess, our acknowledgement of her celebrity that we haven't bothered her with her husband's jersey bet addiction.
Yeah. I'll probably never get that jersey.
I'm going to get mine. I'm getting that shit, man. I'm going to get it.
If he doesn't fly out here for the streams with a fucking Santa sack worth of jerseys that he owes, I say we beat him with hammers.
Yeah, you better be checking an entire item of luggage filled with jerseys.
Yeah. Do not come on this side of the country unless you have a Dontrell Willis jersey, a Jose Ramirez jersey, and a Cal Raleigh jersey. Do not.
And quite honestly, the interest is getting to the point where like I kind of might want multiple versions of some of these just because.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to go the entire 2025 baseball season without like being along for the Cal Raleigh ride was part of hitching my wagon to Cal Raleigh, and the guy's going to hit 60 or 65 homers, and I'm going to get his jersey in fucking 2029. He's going to be like a platoon player by the time I get his jersey. But I won't let it go. I'm not going to give that up either.
No. I should have known 2 years ago when he kept saying that he won a jersey bet against me because he wanted an O'Neal Cruz jersey, and I just bought it for him out of, I guess, pity.
Yeah.
I was like, he really wants this O'Neal Cruz jersey that he's lying about winning a jersey bet. So I just sent it to him, even though I did not lose a jersey bet to him. I just sent him an O'Neal Cruz jersey. And this is the same guy that lost a jersey bet to me a year ago and has still not paid up.
Well, obviously I think we can move on, but the bottom line is that if nothing else, we're going to use this platform to hold Dallas Braden accountable.
Yeah. On his birthday. Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, you fucking welching piece of shit.
Send us our stuff, man.
Yeah, please. Family Feud. No Family Feud this week?
Well, who are we playing with? Is Dallas here tomorrow?
I thought he was going to be here tomorrow. I thought he was just taking one day off.
Jake, is it 1 day or 2 days? That's what it is.
What time is later? Early afternoon. I mean, I don't know. I'll be around. I feel like, I don't know. We'll talk offline.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get the feud going.
Yeah. And if not, then we should have a celebrity fill in.
Well, let's do that.
Yeah, because people got shit to do. Do you have any award-winning nugs today, Jayhay?
Yeah, I got some nugs. few to look back, few to look forward. George Kirby, he was one of 8 pitchers in the wild card era now, coming off of last night, to have multiple career starts of 7 innings pitched or more, 0 runs and 0 walks against the Orioles. He joins Mike Mussina, Johan Santana, CC Sabathia, David Price, Chris Sale, Shane Bieber, and Garrett Cole as the pitchers to have multiple such starts in the wild card era. Jose Ramirez, he has hit the nice semi-round numbers of 25 homers and 30 stolen bases on the season. Had a multi-homer game last night to get to 25. That is tied for the second most 25 homer, 30 stolen base seasons by any player in the wild card era. Only Alfonso Soriano has more, and all other players in Cleveland franchise history have combined for 3 such seasons. One by, if you want names, it's one by Grady Sizemore, one by Joe Carter, and one by Bobby Bonds. For those of you who forgot the Bobby Bonds Cleveland era. Paul Skeens, we talked about him with that handling given to him by the Brewers last night. He dropped to 7-9 with a 2.13 ERA on the season. That is the lowest ERA. Sorry, that is not the lowest ERA for a pitcher with a sub 500 regular season record in at least 150 innings pitched is Bob Veal for the 1968, coincidentally enough, Pirates, who had a 2.05 ERA and finished under 500 on the season. Skeens is at 148 innings pitched, so he's very close to getting to that threshold. His current mark, 2.13, would be the 3rd lowest all time in a sub 500 season. So, lower it. Brandon Woodruff, he goes today, and that's, we've talked about the Brewers. That's maybe a part of the Brewers story that has gone a little bit under discussed so far. His return came on July 6th of this season. Of the 79 qualified pitchers since July 6th, Woodruff's strikeout rate is tied for the 3rd highest. It's 34.9%. He's behind only Dylan Cease and Tarek Skubal and tied with Zach Wheeler. So Brandon Woodruff, once upon a time, was one of the best pitchers in the National League. And it's possible that he has returned to being something along those lines. It's not just strikeout rate either. His ERA is just north of 2. So incredible comeback for him and a wonderful turn of events for Brandon Woodruff and the Brewers. I pointed it out earlier, but just to reiterate, PCA 2 for 34. That's a 0.59 batting average over his last 9 games. And his current 815 OPS is its lowest it has been since May 1st. Kyle Tucker's got 1 homer over his last 33 games, 0 extra base hits in August. And his current 849 OPS is the lowest it has been since March 29th. And then, because we are a positive podcast, let's wrap it up with some Red Sox Nuggs, and specifically our guy, Roman Anthony.
Yeah,
look at
please.
this. Oh man, it's just in full bloom right now. And it feels good for those of us on this podcast and elsewhere who never gave up on Roman Anthony despite all the hard times. We are being rewarded right now. The youngest players in MLB history to have a game with 4 or more walks and a homer. Mel Ott in 1929, Ted Williams in 1939, and then Roman Anthony last night at 21 years and 91 days. He slots in just ahead of 1986 Barry Bonds, who was previously 3rd and is now 4th on the list. So it's 2 Hall of Famers ahead of Roman Anthony, and then Barry Bonds right behind him. Decent stuff for Roman last night. Highest on base percentage. You might be wondering, we've been tracking this all along. Baseball is Dead is your podcast for tracking Roman Anthony's career on base percentage through X number of games. Do not trust any other sources who might be conveying this information, particularly verbatim to how it was received on my account. Highest on base percentage through the first 52 games of a career since integration. Minimum 200 plate appearances. Willie McCovey at 429, Albert Pujols at 416, Juan Soto at 413, and Roman Anthony at 406, 4th highest since integration. Taking it a step further, It's about the Red Sox. It's also about the Yankees always, right? Yesterday was the first time in Major League Baseball history where both a Red Sox player, Roman Anthony, and a Yankees player, Aaron Judge, had games featuring a homer and at least 3 walks on the same day. And in fact, one further layer in the Russian nesting doll of Nuggets, Judge and Anthony is the first time any 2 players have had games featuring a homer, 3 walks, and a stolen base, so regardless of team, on the same day since Barry Bonds and Quilvio Veras did so on April 25th, 1986. And that was the last time it happened. After I tweeted that out, I went and found all other instances. There are no other instances of that. So it's just Aaron Judge and Roman Anthony and Barry Bonds and Quilvio Veras in 1996 as those very random stats happening on the same day. But larger point, Roman Anthony, very much happening, very much a thing. And I don't know whether, I don't want to limit him in any way. I would love to see him mount an actual threat to Nick Kurtz's AL Rookie of the Year award, I think, at this point, and to see those two kind of go back and forth down the stretch, particularly considering the differences in the way they go about it offensively, at least right now, and the fact that they could be 2 of the best players in the AL over the next decade or half decade, I think could be, a nice kind of down the list subplot of the final month and a half of the season. But either way, very, very cool to see Roman Anthony become a thing.
Setting me up perfectly for the one nug that I have here, Jayhay.
Give it to me.
Since June 28th, Roman Anthony is hitting .341 with a .966 OPS. There are only 2 players in all of Major League Baseball over that span that are hitting .340 or better with a .400 on base or better with a .500 slug or better. Nick Kurtz, Roman Anthony.
Wow. We didn't plan that. I swear to God,
No.
We did not plan that. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
That's just podcasting together for
podcast synergy.
7-8 years,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Good nugget, man. Good job.
Yeah. I got some nugs myself. Yeah. So
it's a place to come.
Yeah. You get any final thoughts, Justin Havens?
Oh, final thoughts. I mean, it's a Wednesday, right? So we're going to release this podcast and people will be able to listen to it as they take in some actual baseball action. So that's always nice. I would call out that it is they didn't miss anything, right? It's the return of Hunter Green to the mound for the Cincinnati Reds, which, given their hopeful position, but precarious position in the NL wildcard picture, anything they can get out of a guy who gave them a 2.72 ERA through his first 11 starts of the season would obviously be welcome. A tough return matchup, obviously, across the mound, given that he gets Christopher Sanchez, but I'll be paying attention to that. And then, we were pretty much exclusively negative on the Cubs this podcast, so I do apologize to all my Cubs friends who tune in and support the product, but I think they'll be in agreement there. But on the positive side, Cade Horton is back on the mound today, and he has made 4 consecutive starts without allowing a single run. That spans 22 2/3 innings, where he has allowed only 10 total hits. So, wouldn't solve some of the offensive things that we outlined earlier, but if Cade Horton is, quote unquote, taking a next step, that could be a very cool thing for the Cubs. And then no nugget, but just kind of a contrast in styles or sex appeal or whatever we want to call it. But the starting pitching matchup for Angels Dodgers tonight is Shohei Ohtani and Kyle Hendricks. So above and beyond Shohei facing his old team on the mound, he gets to go across from, the old professor, which is just kind of a cool optics situation. And those are my final thoughts.
Thank you, Justin Havens. Hopefully, I would say if Dallas can't go normal time tomorrow, I'll just be like, you know what? Take the week off as your birthday gift from the fellas. I bet you there's someone that we could tap in for Family Feud tomorrow. Because the people want it. They're like, what the fuck?
They sure do.
It's
They want
Thursday.
it so bad, dude.
And I understand that part of the charm, part of the appeal of Family Feud on Baseball is Dead is Dallas crashing out when he goes second, which I believe he's due to go second. But I mean, still, Family Feud is a good time. So I think we move forward. We got to give it to the people.
Let's do it.
Okay. Pick 'em about to drop in a little bit. Be on the lookout for that. We'll be back here tomorrow with more Baseball is Dead to cap off the week in baseball and look ahead to the weekend of baseball that we have in front of us, and more playoff picture perspective and juicy, tasty, award-winning Jayhay Nuggs to send us into the weekend tomorrow. I hope you join us because we'll be here. I don't know if Dallas will be here, but we'll be here. So maybe we'll see you guys then.
We gone.